So that's the small code snippet which you have to add, which is just identifying the width of any field. But there's loads of other stuff which you can do over here. You can change the number of data it brings on the list page. You can change the auto save mode. You can change the number of select records which you can select on a list screen. So there are multiple of things which you can do from specifying a small code snippet in this XML, which you cannot do through GUI of the application designer. So that is, this is the reason why they have provided the export and import of an XML file. So the things which you cannot do through application designer, you can do it through changing the XML code. So you have to save the application XML small code change and just saving the application, closing it, and then going back to the application and re-importing the file which we have just changed. So now you can see that the description field has been changed and has been increased to a length which was required in our case. So we will save the application and we'll go back to see how does it looks in the PM application. So now you can see that all the descriptions which were lost, not in this case probably, but which can be seen from here, that it has been increased. So that was the second or third bit which we were planned. Modified field length. Okay, so the next lesson is to how do we add a more field, a search more field in the advanced search. So you have multiple options available in Maximo to search in an application for the data, and if there are multiple times where you want to add more fields to the advanced search dialog box, and for instance you want to add a status, you want to add affected person, you want to add multiple regions, and the new field, especially the new fields which we have added or you have added in the application. So to cover these items, we will quickly add a new field on the advanced search tab. For that, we will go into the application designer. And for instance, we will add on work order tracking, or probably service desk. Let's add on the service desk. So let's go into the service desk and see. That's the advanced search tab, and over here you can see that you have multiple options available through you can search. But if you want to search by an affected person, you cannot search it. So for instance, if you want to search with affected person, you have to add a new field over here in the advanced search, which is a quick process. So we are in the SR application, and to change and modify any dialog, it won't be available in the main screen. For that, you have to click on the Edit dialog box, which is located in the toolbar. You have to click this, and the advanced search field dialog is called the search more. And we'll go into the search more field. We'll close this dialog box. So you can see we have what we have just seen. We'll open the control palette, and affected person is just a normal text box. Just add a new text box, and it's better to place it under the owner group. And what we have to do is to change the properties, and that's affected person. That's the label. And the attribute, we have to search for the attribute. So you can see we have affected person. There are multiple affected person. So what we are going to pick is the affected person on the SR application or the SR object. So the SR application is based on the SR object. So we will pick up the affected person on the SR object. And if you want to specify the lookup, so you will, to easier way to do it is to go into the application and write down the lookup and the application. As I know over here, I'll put down the person application and things, and put the input mode into query. This is very important, as it won't search until you put the query word into the input mode value. So we'll quickly save the application, and the new dialog has been added. So there are multiple things you can do. You can go into the person application. You can search through a new dialog for the person you're looking for. We'll save the application and close the dialog. So a quick bit which I was trying to tell earlier is that whichever field you want to add and you are not aware of the information for that field, you quickly go into that field, which will go and there's the affected person. It's taking a bit time. Okay. So we have affected person. Seems like affected person has been severely affected. Okay, we got it now, finally. So you can see that the lookup is the person and the go-to application is the person and the menu type is person TKT. So if you want to add all these information even on the lookup in the advanced search dialog box, you can pick up all this information and put it over there. Seems to be a bit slow. We'll quickly go into here. person TKT, and it was affected person ID. That's it. That's been done. We quickly go into the service test application. And in the advanced search, you can see there's an affected person, and you can pick up the value, and there you go. So we've got just 7-8 minutes left. I have to cover multiple things. So I'll try to cover this bit, and then we'll come back to the conditional formatting if we have some time. As you can see on the screen that you can add a page of your own. You can add your Google page, BBC, or any page of your own internal company page, or anything you can add on Maximo. So it's a very good tool if you have some processes of which are integrated with Maximo, which requires some integrations and information sharing between Maximo and your application. You can add that application or that web page into your Maximo application. And it's a very quick way to do it. We'll quickly go into the application designer. For instance, this time we'll pick up service request. So all we have to do is just go into the control palette and pick up the tab object, the tab control, and just drop it on the tab. So the new tab is there, and for instance we want to add Maximo, MACS support system, or just MACS website. Still there. We'll save it. The new tab, we'll change it to MACS EU, and we